working, man.
I know what my audience like. I did some independent films with Master P. A lot of those movies did really well.
I'm ambitious, I'm a hustler. I have my own lane.
That's the thing about comedy. You wake up every day, you don't know if you're funny that day.
So I'm a criminal defense attorney here in New York. I'm a former prosecutor too, so there's that part.
Oh, right on it. I was guessing.
A lot of slack for that part. I was a Manhattan prosecutor for 5 years. I grew up in South Jamaica, Queens, so I came out of drugs and they put me in narcotics when I got to the DA's office. So I did that for about 5 years, and I've been doing criminal defense work ever since. I'm also an adjunct professor at City Tech in the paralegal studies department. So
the big money question is your man delaying leaving the White House because he's fearing prosecution?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
I think he's delaying because he is trying to get the states to miss the safe harbor date, right? So we got to go back a little bit. So there is the Constitution, Article 2, which specifies that the election, all of these states have to have their election results certified. Everything has to be resolved. That is all the court cases, any challenges, any recounts, all that shit has to be done by the safe harbor date. The safe harbor date is set by the Constitution to be 6 days before the electoral vote, right? Okay. The electoral vote this year is set for December 14th. So the safe harbor date necessarily is December 8th. So all of these elections have to be certified by December 8th. That's the outside date.
And if not?
If not, okay, so first, the states have their own dates, right? So think about it. We have 51 different elections. Every state has their own election, and every state has the sovereignty to govern how their election is administered, right? Their votes and all of that shit. Okay, so some states have till December 1st to certify the election based on their state statutory law. But it all has to be done by December 8th. And if it's not, then the state that is not certified will lose its right to cast the electoral votes pursuant to their state statute. Meaning, so say for instance, a state like Michigan, right, they're going through some things, right? Say for instance, they don't meet it by the deadline. Well, then the legislature in Michigan will get to decide how Michigan's electoral votes are cast. And it doesn't have to be by the popular vote. There is no law. And then you have to account for the faithless electors. There are people who they're supposed to vote for Biden, but fuck it, I'll pay $1,000 fine because there's really no teeth.
Oh, wow.
For you to not vote the way you're supposed to vote.
Right.
Real penalty there, right? Some states have no penalty. Some states have $1,000 fine, but that's the max that I've seen so far.
So in essence, he's dragging it out like Georgia. They're talking about recounting again. And
well, he's entitled to a recount after certification, and that's another thing that people get confused about. So there's a lot that happens with the election. There's the canvassing after the actual election. They then have to canvass, and then they have to audit all of those votes, right? Then they did a recount of that. Then they certify. Once the election is certified, then the candidate who loses has the right to demand a recount. And that's where we are now.
So what's the chances of December 8th, if him stretching it to the 8th, and one of those that have already called but not been certified,
right,
switches? What's the chances of that?
It's 2020.
It's still possible.
It's fucking possible. It's 2020.
Yeah, well.
You know what I mean? I'm not comfortable. Let me put it like that. I'm not comfortable.
Wow.
I'm not comfortable.
I don't care if it is a closet. You still looking mad official.